Chaim. My time slot to speak was about 2.5 hours ago, but there were some very important speakers. I told Rabbi Rabbi that I'm not going to have any kepedes, and I don't have to speak. He felt it was important. There was a convention held in Massachusetts a couple of years ago for a week long on scientists. And the convention, the first day had 5,000 people, and the second day, not such chashuva speakers, there were 4,000 people. Until Thursday, 7, 8 o'clock at night, the hotel convention hall was mamish. It was getting less and less and less. People already catching flights to go back to their weekend retreats to finish this convention. At 7:45, the last speaker gets up to speak, and he's holding on his boich speech ready for a week already. And he looks in the crowd, and there's one guy, and the first thing he does is he starts thanking the last guy that stayed to hear his speech. And while he's giving up all this cover to the guy says, hey, I'm the next speaker. So I think I am the next speaker over here tonight. I have to say, I was born in Crown Heights. I think I'm one of the only people in the world that was born in Crown Heights on Atlantic Avenue. It was a hospital called Interfaith Medical Center. I actually one time looked at my birth certificate to see the address, and I had a license already, and I drove to see if there's really a hospital there. It's one verhackte building. It says Interfaith. Rumor is, I don't know if it's true, my father's very frum. The doctor my mother used nafka like that hospital. I don't know who this guy was. There was a tselem in the hallway because I think they say I left the hospital on the virus gate. My father denies it. But anyways, I just wanted to say that a lot of kochin in Yonam that go on in the world, as time goes on, there's like a chalishus, there's like a little bit of a weakness going on. And I think it's exactly the opposite, the miracle of what's happening in Crown Heights. Because when I grew up in Crown Heights in the early nuns, I'm going to get a WhatsApp tonight that there was a shir in somebody's, that there was a shir in HaRambam that was going on in some shul in East Flatbush every night that was attended by 900 people. Listen, I'm just saying the way it was. I'm in tuned, and I'm in touch with reality, and I follow the news. You shouldn't be like me. When I was growing up in Crown Heights, and in Gimel, and Dalet, and Hein, and Vav, I knew of one Rambam shir that happened in Crown Heights daily, and to get into this shir that Gabbai Menachem Gerlitzky did in the Tefedes Kenim Lev Yitzchak, you had to be like 96 on oxygen with a respirator. I used to peek inside. I could be totally wrong. I think Rabbi Holtzberg gives a Daf Yomi shir, was giving a Rambam shir then. Daf Yomi became Rambam became Daf Yomi. That's what I remember. Again, I'm asking for everybody to be moichel me when I'm going to get a WhatsApp that there was 40 Rambam shiurim and I didn't know about them. This is what I grew up. And the Rambam, the Siyum HaRambam, I heard it started off in hotels in Manhattan with 25,000 people, with champagne and elevators and whatever. And I know a couple of years ago it was in LA Terra, and it was couldn't find the cup of seltzer and a piece of sponge cake. But I want to say that the Rambam that's happening in the community today, every single night there's multiple Rambam shiurim happening, and there's, look at this event over here on a Thursday night with Mamashik, Kiyad HaMelech, beautiful with top-notch speakers. And about a year ago, Rabbi Clapman started a Rambam shir. I mean, there's a lot of Magidah shiurim, and I'm sure they're all doing an outstanding job. But a shul that I go a lot to Mincha Ma'ariv, by Rabbi Yossi Gerelik, the Geshem Center shul on Albany between Midwood and Rutland. Every single night there's a shir at 8:30, and I'm here to give positive encouragement and reinforcement. There's around 10-15 people, and anybody that lives in this area of Crown Heights and in East Flatbush, and this area is already past Lovers, it's for sure L'Chaladay is East Flatbush, but we call ourselves Crown Heights, people that live in that area. This is an amazing shir. The Maggid shir, Rabbi Mendel Blooming, is, first of all, his father's a big Rav, his Zayd is Rabbi Heller is a big Rav, Ben Acher Ben Bachar Ben, we're talking about Mishmena Mishamna, gives a very beautiful shir in English, concise, sharp. I'm not going to say I come every single night, and I'm not going to say I come every night on time, but after a beautiful event like this, it gives a stolz, and it gives you a motivation that you should want to come to this year. And there's the guy didn't say I have the shus to say. There's a guy sponsors twice a week a platter of sushi. Sundays is always sushi, and another night of the week is also sushi, but that's a surprise night. Mendy Engel is in charge of the sushi. Maybe if you WhatsApp him, we'll give you private info when the things. And there's another younger man over there, Rabbi Deitzis. I don't know, Rabbi Rabbi, I don't know who pays for what, when. I don't want to start politics. As a Baruch Hashem, we have enough. But they also give every single night cold, freezing, not Perrier the seltzer, the Perrier the sodas, the sodas. I think it's like 2% juice, so they're healthy. They're loaded with calories, but they're very good drinks. So they make it, and he always, it doesn't go past 9 o'clock, so you come at 8:30 to 9 o'clock. It's very good. I told a very chashuv of, I told him I'm going to be speaking tonight for under 3 minutes. I said I need something very short and concise. So he told me that, Rabbi Baltiel's not here to shlug me up, I could say it with confidence. He said that if you look in Teres Menachem from the Rebbe, it'll be 100 volumes, Sichas Kodesh. He says the most common theme, if you put it into like these searches on the Google and they'll find the most thing, the Rebbe says one particular line, I hope you're not all laughing, could be somebody said it before me. The most common thing that the Rebbe said from Yud Shvat Tavshin Yud Aleph until Eisata is not Mashiach. Again, everything is tied to Yemesa Mashiach in the famous Sichon on Beis, where the Rebbe says that every single mitzvah is koil and the shluchas of Yemesa Mashiach. I'm not, no WhatsApping me tonight. I'm telling you, the most common thread in the entire Sichas Kodesh from the Rebbe ever said is Hoysafa B'limud HaTorah. So, if people are already doing Rambam daily, they could start learning it with more Mefarshim. If you're already learning Rambam with Mefarshim, the Rebbe spoke about, and it was in the booklets that they gave out, that the Rebbe made a koch that they should learn Rambam in Basara. I saw you saying it on a different thing. You said that the Rebbe says about learning Rambam by Basara, with a minion. So, and also the people that are going to the Shiurim Rambam, the Maggidei Shiurim are working so hard, all of them, and like some of the other speakers said that you could read it like in Mekedav and Rabbi Rambam, but the Maggidei Shiurim are putting a lot of blood and sweat that people should come to these Shiurim. And the more people that come, it's a fact, I know when you make events, the more people that come, the more you are inspired to do a better job. And I want to give a very special bracha to all the people that go to the Shiurim and all the Maggidei Shiurim and all the people that make it a possibility to happen. Rabbi Rotban is doing an incredible job, like other people already said. Says with hand and fist, Shiurim, Siyumim, Maises, things are flying all over the place. I one time heard somebody say that the Gemara says that Rabbi is Mechayev Ashirim, and Mechayev Aniyim is Hillel, is Mechayev Aniyim. And this particular guy said that art school is going to throw everybody in Gehenna, because everybody could open up a book and start learning. It's in English and they sell it in Judaic world for $10. But in Crown Heights, so we all have the yechilas and the opportunity to go to these shiurim that are being arranged through Ergen Torah. And if you don't go until now, you should start going. And I'm probably leaving out a few yeshikoyachs, but other people said it. But Rabbi Aftzin is the work Rabbi Aftzin is doing. A couple of years ago, he texted me, WhatsApped me that there's like 83 shiurim. 83 shuls in Crown Heights? How many? 80, I think he said 80, I don't know, whatever. And everybody's trying to like message people like, you have a shul, another shul, we're trying to arrange this, how do you get in touch? And I know, Rabbi, somebody else said, I think you said, everything is so easy until you have to do it. But when you want to get a message across to the entire community, it's through the shuls, because everybody goes to the shul, I mean, obviously. So, to getting through the shuls, and during COVID there were medical things. Baruch Hashem, we're way past that. Don't tell Fauci, we're way past that. That's already it's already done. Whatever. If it's not done, I officially ended it. But during the height of it, there was a lot of medical things that were going on. Mamash inyanim pekuach nefesh, and the shuls had to have a unified front, And the Rabbi Aftzin, I know I'm coming of Johnny Waite comer over here, but at the time he was arranging a lot of important things on a day-to-day level. And probably the shuls that when they opened, it was because, I believe it was because of Rabbi Aftzin speaking to all the doctors and getting with the government and getting meetings and deciding, and I know I'm at a HaRambam thing over here, but it was very important, and if you were involved in a shul, nobody wanted to take achrayus for anything. It sounds all, this, that. When you want to make a decision about opening, not opening, masks, no masks, and getting the supplies, and getting the papers and the PDFs, again, it's time. It's a lot of time. And I know we say this in davening, but ma'ab daven tasachmo, you say every single davening, it's kipshutay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishal Mischaram. So everybody that arranges tonight's event, and Rabbi Afson for the Shiyurim event, Rabbi Yezevich for all the events he's making Lumad HaTorah, and all the Magidei Shiyurim on the front row and the center stage, the Rebbe should be Mishalim Scharam, Kipshutay, Begashmi, Baruchni, Banach Chayim, Azayin, Revicha, Bakar, Mikol Kerl.